I have had a couple of the show must go on moments that felt pretty tricky. One of them was I had a play on Broadway called Moon Over Buffalo with Carol Burnett and Phil Bosco. Then the takeover cast was Lynn Redgrave and Robert Goulet. And it was in London at the Old Vic with Joan Collins and Frank Langella. The day before the opening, the last preview, and a lot of critics were in for the last preview. That's when a lot of New York critics come. We were all set. We thought everything would go fine. But we had a set design that moved. You wouldn't think so. It's kind of a one-set comedy. On the other hand, the producers felt, well, this is for Broadway, and it should look great. So the initial scene is played. It's an excerpt from Cyrano de Bergerac. So it's played on a battlefield, and then the next scene is the green room of a theater in Buffalo, New York, and in most productions, nothing happens. They whisk draperies off hidden furniture, and there we are. We're in the green room. Well, in this case, Heidi Landesman, one of the great set designers of all time, had designed a set that they played the Cyrano de Bergerac scene here, and then the floor or the battlefield rose up like this, and that became the ceiling of the green room. And then you were in the green room. Very beautiful, beautiful effect, wonderful, wonderful. Except on that night, it didn't work and the scenery broke down. So right after the first scene, after a short scene, you know, Cyrano, on to the fray, on to battle, and we're going to change to the green room. And nothing happened. And nothing happened. And so I run backstage, the director runs backstage, we're pulling our hair out, all the critics are there, and it was just stuck. I mean, these things happen. So I went to Carol Burnett's dressing room, and I said, Carol, help. Help, what are we going to do? I don't know what to do. Would you go out and talk to the audience? I figured they'd like to hear from her more than they'd like to hear from me. So would you go out to the audience? And she went out and did about a half hour, 45 minutes of stand-up and chatted to the audience and told some jokes and picked people. We had a lot of celebrities in the audience that night. I remember we had Bernadette Peters was one. He said, Bernadette, hey, stand up, what do you think?